Hello all. Today in this video, we will learn in more detail about general ledger accounting. Yeah, we all know that we have discussed many things about general ledger accounting in my previous videos, but we haven't studied from certification perspective. So from today onwards, we will concentrate on the topics in detail to answer the questions um, in general ledger accounting from certification point of view. So in this video means like in general ledger accounting we will be mastering the techniques related to organizational units. In all the videos related to general ledger accounting, these are the concepts which we are going to mastery. These videos will be in very much detail, and it talks about each and every field and each and every concept related to general ledger accounting. So we will start with organizational units and how we manage organizational units in financial accounting, and we understand how we need to maintain general ledger master records, and also we will understand the configuration steps which we need to perform for all the general ledger business processes, and also we we understand the parallel valuation and document splitting in SAP S/4HANA, and the steps which we need to configure related to the fields from header and line items, and also how the document get posted and editing options which can be done in that document. So we will be mastering all these concepts one by one in our videos. So this topic will cover the 20% of the questions in the FI certification. So now let us understand the importance of general ledger accounting in real time scenario. So do you know, like, as a financial accounting consultant, we will work with the customer requirements and convert those requirements to the system configuration settings. So we need to know the various options available. So it is important to deploy on the on-premise systems. So we have many configuration decisions made for the general ledger, and if something goes wrong, it is very much difficult to tweak after the system goes live. So we need to gain the confidence that we are building the right system for our customers. So as working as a financial accounting consultant, we might be specialized in certain sub areas in financial accounting, or you know that there is a very much demand for general ledger, only for general ledger accounting consultants in Europe. So general ledger accounting is a powerful concept because that is the core concept in the financial accounting. So, and also it is the single most important starting point through to thoroughly understand the general ledger configuration. And also all the activities in SAP S4 HANA, any activities will end up posting the documents in general ledger. So for this reason, this is a large integrated point in whole financial, not only in financial accounting and in total SAP S4 HANA. So it is an integrated point. General ledger accounting is an integrated point for all the modules. So if we are not familiar with general ledger accounting concept, it not only blocks the finance business but also affect many other lines of business. So providing correct financial and functional reporting is critical for the companies to get trust even from their clients and also while producing the reports to the government. So all finance components should be up to date and all are integrated with universal journal. And also based on the general ledger accounts and the line items in the general ledger accounts, the higher level management will take the decisions. So that is the reason, and we should be very much careful in understanding each and every point of general ledger accounting. So what is the purpose of these organizational units and which field in general ledger master records affects the line items and how the to particularly which GL needs to be maintained as open account GL. So we actually discussed these things in detail. Now we will understand in detail from certification point of view and what kind of questions they will ask from these topics. So now let us understand the importance of organizational units in SAP S4 HANA. So first we need to understand the real life, means like in real life how the company works. For example, we have a company called Reliance. Okay, so Reliance is the parent company and it has many subsidiary companies. They have many businesses. They are into education, they are into clothing, they are into mobile, and they are into a petrol business. There are many subsidiary businesses for Reliance. So if we take a company called Reliance, so if you are planning to implement SAP to that company, we need to understand how we are going to implement the same thing in SAP. So what are all the things will be organizational units and how the reports needs to be generated for high level management and to submit to the government for taxation purposes. So that is the main goal of SAP, to ease the businesses to submit their financial reports to the government as well as to the management to understand the high level business process and the necessary steps which they need to take to further move on with the business, and what are the decisions, important decisions which they need to take regarding their business to be successful in the competitive world. So for this, SAP is the best thing in the entire world where the clients are implementing the SAP S/4HANA. So now if we understand more about the client, here client is an organizational unit and legal entity at the top of the organizational unit hierarchy. It will be at the top, client. So organizational master and transactional data are maintained on client level. So the main objective of this client is to keep the data isolated from other clients. So it is an client data is independent to each client. So the master and transactional data in the client is only visible to that particular client. It will not be visible in other clients. And also, if a user, we know that when we log in, we will be logging in through the specific client, even though we have different authorizations, we know, right? In production we will have different authorization, in development we have a different authorization, in quality we have different authorization. So the main fundamental control is the client. So, and moving on to the multiple clients, what I have discussed, like development, quality and production, SAP provides multiple clients like client 00, 001 and 066. These are the three clients which SAP will provide. So all the base data will be contained in client 000. But it seems, as per the material in SAP S/4HANA implementation projects, they are not generally using the client 00 for implementation. So client 001 again is a copy of client 00. In client 000, the administrators, means basis team, will work for their maintenance and patch works. There will be, every time we will be hearing about these patches getting upgraded to SAP. So all these administrators will work on the client 000, and only those administrators will have access to client 000. So if we think client as a database, there are two things. There are client independent data and client dependent data. So if we log into client 100, we can see all client independent data. That means all the ABAP programs and all the organizational units and master data and transactional data, that is only available to that specific client. So if we log into client 200, it will be client, we can see all the client independent data which is exactly same as client 100. and all the data is specific to client 200. So here what I mean to say is there are client independent data and client dependent data. So client independent data, so in client dependent, if the data is client dependent, you can access that information from any of the clients, such as data dictionary tables, tables that contain the ABAP programs, printers. These are all client independent. So in short, ABAP programs, data dictionary tables and tables available in the clients are client independent data, and organizational units, master data and transactional data are client dependent data. So if we need to talk it in business terms about what is a client, your client is generally a corporate group or a group of affiliates, and the configurations which we do regarding master records and company codes and the chart of accounts means we assign the chart of accounts to all the multiple company codes. So all these will be available at client level. So the document splitting which we activate will be activated at client level. So on will be available to all the company codes. That is what we call it as client level. Client level is nothing but a corporate group or a group of affiliates. So it will be available to all the company codes available in that client. So if we are working on the live systems, we will know like there will be development system which is a golden client, and testing system which is a quality client, and the production system which is a live client. So there will be three clients in a project if you are working in the real time project. Okay, so first we need to, and also we will have a sandbox. If we want to test something from the scratch, we will test it in the sandbox and then develop the same configuration in the golden client which is in development client. And once the client and as a consultant, if we are happy with the changes which we have done, then we move the changes to the quality, and again the client will, or end user means like business will confirm the changes like it is working as per their expectations. So once the business confirms the changes, then we will schedule a date when it has to move to the production. So these are the different clients which we use in SAP. So first is development which we use for customizing. The second is test which we use for quality, and the third is production which is a live SAP system for the client. And also in addition to the above clients, we use few more clients, one for demo purpose. So whenever if we want to give the demo to the customers, so initially there will not be any configuration to that particular client. So but still we need to show this is how SAP looks, this is how it works, this is how the once it is configured, the reports will be generated and it can be useful to be submitted to the tax authorities and can be useful for legal requirements, and few of the reports are used for management decisions. So for the demo purpose, we will have one client. It might be some initially in the before implementation stage. And also we have some systems for training and education. So if there are if they are implementing SAP, very they are very new to SAP. They are implementing. This is the first time they are implementing the SAP, and the end users need some training on using SAP, how they use SAP. So there will be one more client where they can practice or where we can train the end users. So SAP reference is nothing but SAP best practices. So whenever the client is going for the new implementation, SAP will provide with SAP best practices package, um, which depends on that particular country. If they are implementing the SAP in India, they will provide SAP best practices package um, related to India, and depends on the country where they are implementing SAP. This will help. Normally, we see many of the things we will copy from the standard SAP. So, if we have this best practices package, which provided by SAP, that will be very helpful in many of the scenarios. We can actually copy the standard SAP and we can change as per the customer requirement. So these are the few things. So we discussed more about transport requests. Now let us see how we create the transport requests and how that will be transported from development to quality. So first, in order to save the changes in the transport request that needs to be created. So we create the transport request in the transaction code SE09, where it shows what kind of transport request you have to create, whether it is a customizing or workbench. Customizing will be used by functional consultants and workbench requests will be used by technical consultants. So few of the transports we need to create it in workbench even for customizing changes. Actually I don't remember what are those configurations, but for few of the things we will create workbench requests even for configuration changes. So we will create and we will select whether it is a customizing or workbench request, and we'll say it is a customizing request, and we will give the short description. So you have to give the user names in this user list. So a task will be assigned to that particular user. So any user can use this transport request. Okay, and they can do the changes. So if the task is not assigned here, any of the user cannot use this transport number. So if we save it, the transport number will be automatically created. See, this is the main transport number and this is the task. Always we need to release this main transport number to the quality system, not the tasks. Task can be many things, but the main parent transport number will be only one. This is where all the changes which we do will be included in this transport number. So once we do the changes, you okay, I want to show you one thing. Okay, let me move on to the new screen and show you like let me create some configuration. Okay, it might be a company code one, OX. I just want to show you the example how it looks like. Okay, I will keep the same thing. It is 0001, but just let me try to save like this. I don't know who is using this. I don't want to make that person in trouble. So just save. Definitely it will ask for an transport request. So here if we can see our transport has been appearing. So we can save all our changes in this transport request. I don't want to change anything. Exit. Okay, like this. So once we save the changes to that particular transport request, we will release the changes from development with transaction code SCC1. So in the source client, we will give the development client and the transport number which you will use it to save all the configuration changes which we did, and include tasks in the request. This is the main important thing which we need to select. And if it is just a test run, we can just do the test run, and we can do a background job if it is a web program ran successfully. And then we move on to quality, and again we have exported these changes, and in quality we will import the changes. This is how it works. The releasing transport things will be taken care by basis. um, but in my previous project which I have worked, my manager was releasing all the transports, and we ourselves were creating the transports and changing all means like saving all the changes to the transport, but the releasing part will be done by our manager, client manager. Okay, this is. Let us learn about one more transaction which I need to show, that is about SCC4, where we can see all the clients available in this particular system. So this is where we can see all the clients available uh, with this particular system, and we can see I think we are using 800 when we are practicing. So our this is the global currency for our company codes, so ours will be GBP. So if we are logging through client 000, then our group currency will be EUR. Okay, this is where normally we check the group currency or global currency for our particular company code. It is at client level, so all the companies will follow the same currency which was defined here. So I think by this I will stop today's video. So I don't want to make you guys very much boring. There are lots of things to discuss. uh, Let me plan in my other videos, so it will keep you more interested. And I have lots of new topics which I haven't discussed in my previous videos. So let us keep on moving, and thank you so much for supporting me.